Good evening, sir.
Devashish, looks like only three of us are here.
Yeah, very interesting.
I think let's quit. No problem.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what do you say? I think
Yeah,
Sandeep and doesn't make any sense.
yes, sir. I will just
See,
put
yeah,
the things on the group and then we will
yeah.
quit.
You have already sent it. I think
Yes, sir. Right.
don't waste your time. Yeah, chal,
Yeah.
thanks. Somebody else joined.
Okay, Manoj, sir, I will put it in the group and
Yeah,
open this thing and we'll quit.
yeah. Let's do that.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, where is Devashish? Hey guys, hello.
Sir, I guess three, four people joined and they left because there were nobody. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think you can again put it on the group to start. Yeah.
yeah. I've already put just now. No problem.
Okay.
Two, three people have joined already.
एक 5 मिनिटं थांबूया. आय थिंक कोण कोण
हो.
जॉईन होतंय ते बघायला.
ठीक आहे, नाही तर
हा.
सोडून देऊ.
हा. देवाशिषला मी फोन करू का इथं?
हो,
मी करतो त्याला.
मनोजनी त्याला सांगितलं काहीतरी कॉल इट क्विट्स वगैरे.
नाही नाही, मी बघतो. त्याला फोन करतो मी.
मनोज स्वतः पण नाहीये याच्यात.
तिकडे राहू दे जरा. हे आमचं घर घुस ऐकू दे की. ते 2 शर्ट आणलेत तरी दाखवून दाखवले दिदी वापरून टाकतो. तुला कुणी सांगितले म्हणलं मला चांगले वाटले म्हणलं घेऊ पाहिजे तुमचे तुम्ही युजली घालत.
मी केला देवाशिषला फोन, तो येतोय, जॉईन होतोय तो. तो म्हणे 3-4च लोक होते म्हणून म्हटलं ठीक आहे, तो होऊन जॉईन कर म्हणून.
मागच्या वेळी पण 8 जण होते.
हा ठीक आहे ना, जेवढे असतील तेवढे आपल्याला.
पण
whoever is interested.
ज्यांना इंटरेस्ट आहे त्यांच्यासाठी करावं, नाही तर सोडून पुढच्या वेळेपासून.
हा नाही नाही, बघू ना आपण. वी विल टेक अ कॉल.
हो,
6 झालेत आता. राहुल आलाय, ऋषिकेश आलाय, निलेश होता ना अजून.
गेला नाही काय.
येतील, जॉईन होत आहेत ते, बघू.
हाय, गुड इव्हनिंग.
हा देवाशिष, काही नाही, तोपर्यंत तू गप्पा मार. आय थिंक लोक हळूहळू येत आहेत तिथून. एक 5 मिनिटं थांबू आपण, 2 ते 5 मिनिटं, आणि नंतर चालू करू. सोनटक्के नाही आला, संतोष नाही आला.
सानो
हॅलो.
Sir, I will start with the today's evening presentation. Am I audible?
हो
Yes.
येस देवाशिष बोल आहे
Right.
तुझा आवाज येतोय
Right, sir. I will just start in next 15-20 minutes or so. Sir, actually, gold has got and silver has got a lot of attachment with their sentiments, attachments, emotions as compared to any other property
Tano,
or
drop टाकायचं तुला
it has got
टाकतो चल
emotion attachment as compared to
टाकतो
any
चल
other
म्हणलं
paper investment like you
Ah?
get mutual funds or you get FDs, bank, and also this has got one of the most sentimental investment things which is available. And lot of time the Indian people are quite fascinated with the gold and nowadays silver. So we'll just it has got a lot of historical importance right from the beginning, right from the prehistorical era. Gold is one of the most precious metal and followed by the silver and then all other metal came. So right from the beginning, it's the prehistorical era, then historical right from Shivaji's time to recent times. It was the one of the most important part of the investment. Like our currency is rupee. Rupee is nothing but silver. So initially it was a pure silver. So that Indian rupee used to call as rupees. And then once one time it happened that the 1 rupee coin was which is made up of pure silver, but the coin was costing more than 3 rupees and it was traded at 1 rupees. One fine day, one jeweler came to know at Mumbai and he has purchased he keep on collecting all the coins, melted them, made a silver, and after that, the only steel coins are in market. So right from beginning, there are so many things happened there. After the Second World War, there was a Bretton Woods conference, and in 1948, where the dollar becomes the world currency. So it has been told that after 1948, the dollar should be there for all the exchanges at the international level, and dollar will be backed by this gold. That was the initial thing. And after 1970, the US federal has stopped the backing the gold as their currency. And after that, the backing of from all the entire world, the backing of the gold as a currency was stopped. And again now for last 3-4 years, maybe post COVID, almost entire world, especially China and the other people have started collecting the gold as their mode to prevent their erosion of their currency from the dollar and to reduce the effect of the dollar on their national productions. So nowadays, again, gold becomes the more came in the market. Then it has got low correlation with the equities. Every time, whenever equity market goes up and down, every time gold may or may not follow the trade. Rather, it will follow the opposites. So it has got lot of things to do. Gold is not only dependent on your local market. It is hedge against the inflation. It is hedge against the crude oil. It is whenever wars are there, the gold generally inflates. Whenever uncertainty is, gold generally inflates, and whenever markets like share market goes up, generally gold go down. So it has got a lot of demand drivers. It has got industrial uses and especially cultural levels. Especially we have got for the India. So what are the taxes when we purchase a gold? Generally, as we know now, the GST is there everywhere, and GST acts at least 5, 15, and these are the standard slabs for GST. But gold carries only 3% GST on the value of gold whenever you purchase from a jeweler in the form of coin, jewelry, bars, in any form of this thing. So pure gold is charged as 3%. On top of that, whenever the jeweler adds some making charges, on that making charges, the 5% GST will be levied. So the 5% GST is only on the making charges and the gold will carry 3%. It is not the 8%, but most of the jewelers, right, we know about all the famous jewelers, wherever they are across the India, especially right from north and south like Kalyan and in India, the Ashtakar jewelers or PNGs, everybody carries minimum 5 to maximum 40% as making charges. So most of the jewelers make 20 to 30% as a making charges on the prevailing gold value. So making charges are huge. On an average, they are 5 to 25%. Minimum are 5, average are 25 to 40% on some also. So the On that 40, so say you have got 1 lakh rupees gold. On that they will make 25%. So 1,25,000 will be, so 25,000 will be the making charges. On that 25,000, 5% GST will be more. So it will be somewhere around 30,000. So you purchase 1 lakh rupees gold. On top of that, it will be 1 lakh 3,000 rupees. On that, you will pay 30,000 when you purchase it in the form of jewelry from any of the reputed jewelers. So 1 lakh gold, at the end of the day, you have to purchase for more than 1 lakh 30,000 when you purchase in the form of jewelry. But if you purchase in the form of coin or in the form of bars or any other form, you will attract only 3% GST. Making charges won't be there, so 5% of the making charges GST won't be there. Now, India is one of the countries where you will have got a little more cost to the gold as compared to UAE, US, and most of the Western countries. Because India carries till recent time, it was around 15% of the custom duty was there, and recently they have made it 6%. So whenever we get the gold, because India, most of the time our golds are getting import, and it will carry 6% the custom duty. So in India, on an average, gold is 10% or 6 to 10% at higher value as compared to any other countries, including UAE and all. So most of the time, whenever people go to UAE, they are fancy of purchasing gold. But provided you get it back and you're at least staying there for 6 months or more before you purchase some lump sum of the gold, that's what the things. So, but there is no GST on sale, because many times GST will applicable on the sales also. But whenever you sell gold or silver, there is no GST applicable. On the individual sale, on top of that, if you sell to a registered jeweler, you will get receipt from it in the form of money, and you will get receipt of sale. And whenever this person makes the gold, he sells to other person, or he dissolves or makes something of it, the GST liability lies on the jeweler, not on you. Now, what are the taxes on the inherited? Now, what are the cost, like when you get gold from your parents, grandparents, or in the form of gifts? So in India, a lot of gold is getting inherited. So you can receive in the form of from your mother, from your father, or a wife can receive from husband or from their parents. In inheritance, it is non-taxable provided you have got receipt at the time of purchasing the gold, or it is mentioned in the will of your parents and they are no more now. So if you sell it later, it will attract the capital gains which are applicable at that point of time. So if it is less than 2 years, as per your standard income tax norms, and if it is more than 24 months, it will attract around 15%. So, but inheritance is non-taxable gold. If your mother or father has written, they have got 1 gram of gold with them, they inherited, now they are no more. For that 1 gram, you need not to show that when you have purchased, where you have kept and all. So inheritance is non-taxable. Sometimes they might ask receipt of the first, but if it is in the will and the person is not there, it can be okay. Gift in the form of gold from a specified blood relatives can be tax exempt up to cost of 50,000 rupees in the financial year. And provided there should be some reason, especially at the form of marriage. So, and it has to be shown in income from other sources. And for the silver, the GST is flat 3%. On making charges are again on 5% as what they're applicable for gold. But if you make some silver piece, say diva or some or the other this thing, the flat 3% of GST can be generally taken, and that is the more common norm as compared to the gold. And every jeweler will put their own making charges on the silver ornament. Most of the time they are 10 to 15%. For gold, they are 5 to 40%. So silver generally has got less making charges, but on that making charges, 5% additional GST will be there. And custom duty, India carries 10% custom duty on the silver. So wherever from the world, whenever we get the silver, on an average on that thing, more than 15% cost will be there. The customs will attract 10%, and the agriculture and infrastructure department sales will add 5%. So you will get 15% more rate of silver as compared to the international market. So it will totally add to the costs. Generally, the silver is available in market as 30 kg dagad or stone, or they call pata. All these things these people use. Generally, it is available. The gold bars are available in the form of 1 gram, 2 gram, 5 gram, 50 gram, the typical biscuits. While the silver is generally available in kgs, like generally it is available with 1 kg, 2 kg, 5 kg, or 30 kg. 30 kg is one of the standard norms. 1 kg and 30 kg bars are on an average available as a standard trades. So how much gold you can keep without any receipt at your home? Say there is an income tax search happened or a raid happened, and there generally they will ask for the gold jewelry, and you're supposed to show all your jewelry. They will not seize it. If you have got money, they can seize it. If you have got particular money which is not not documented how you earned it, they can seize it. But generally they won't seize gold on an average, but provided you are showing when you have purchased and these things. For a married woman, up to 500 grams of gold. For unmarried woman, 250 grams of gold. For men, whether he is married or unmarried, 100 grams. Unmarried, like a daughter, can keep 250 grams. So all this for this gold, you can sum up as a family, and for them, generally receipts are not required. Recently, these are the revised limits from CBT department in 2016. But interestingly, government has not specified any limit for a silver, how much silver you can keep without any receipt at home or in any form. So because generally government thinks the silver you are not keeping in a big form, or especially in the long-term forms, that might be, but officially silver there is no limit as this is declared for the gold. So this is the 2016 CBDT clarified how much you can keep in the form of jewelry without any receipt that and especially in the form of inheritance or as a legal instrument also. More than that, or even that, you are supposed to show in ITR. So your ITR, or whenever there are 3 documents. One is cash flow statement. One is your income tax return during income season. There is a liability and taxation. This is show for every year, and the previous gold will show in there in your previous total current liabilities and debit statements. So suppose a raid happened and your previous ITR is not showing the gold, the tax authority can seize all the gold you got. They will put it on the current whatever, like say they have found 700 grams extra gold. So to the current value, they will calculate as per the current value. They will add interest at the double penalty. Say the value comes 10 lakh rupees of the current gold, which is beyond your standard limits. So they can make it whatever the current value is available, on top of the exactly double value will be there, and the interest they can add. So that much amount of the penalty can a gold attract if it has seized in an income tax rates. So how much you can keep in the locker? So as the personal limits that we have talked previously, the same amount of gold you can keep in locker, but the bank is not liable if the gold is lost from a locker, or if the bank somebody if the bank catches the fire, or somebody steals it from the locker. So bank is not liable for any of the gold or any of the things which is available in the locker. But as per the government laws, whatever limit it has told by government, that much amount of gold you can keep in locker. Generally, you can keep a joint locker, and say there are 10 members in a family, and everybody's account, everybody's number of grams can get together in that joint locker. So generally, if you want to take a locker, it can be, you will operate it as a single or 2 persons, but you can open a joint locker in the family name of all the people, or from the HNF for your Hindu undivided family account, you can open a locker. So you will get officially more limit. There is another way if you want to secure gold, like there are a lot of banks. You will deposit to the bank, take a gold loan from it, or they can keep gold as a linen, and they will give overdraft to it. If they are taking as a lien, you will get the overdraft. You can repay the overdraft. At that time, the bank will be liable if they lose your gold. So bank is not liable if the gold is not kept as a lien or as a use for the overdrafts. So this much amount of gold you can keep in locker, and bank is not liable for any of the loss if it is locker. But if it is taken to the bank, you are taking the overdraft, then the bank is liable for these things. So as this thing, as we keep all the receipts right from the old and the recent receipts, we are supposed to keep for long terms, and they have to be added in that every year's ITR. All the invoices, including making charges and gold purchases for all the expenses items should be kept. One has to make the record of gold transactions. Suppose you get a few gold coins, bars. Afterwards, you have make some gold ornaments out of it. So in that situation, that gold transactions, you have to get that receipt from the jewelers and all. After making, he will add making charges, and then he will all the documentation should be there. If you sell it, if you gift it, and inheritance. If you are going to gift it, if it is more than 50,000, then you are actually supposed to make one 500 rupees bond, even though it is in family, and then give that mention it on the 500 rupees bond before you give to your blood relatives also. And you have to store one copy with you and one copy with them also. And we have to prefer nowadays digital copies of these documents should be kept in safe location because they are needed for a very long term things. While traveling, how much amount of gold you can carry. So there are duty free allowances for the returning passengers. So this is 20 gram of gold for males and 40 gram of gold for the females. Interestingly, now the 20 grams cost much more than 50,000 rupees. But the government law as of now states that, and this is taken from the UAE, from Muthoot Gold and Government of India CBT websites also. Though they are saying 20 grams, now 20 gram is costing say around 3 lakhs rupees or somewhere 2.5 lakhs rupees. But government says that it should be 50,000 rupees or less. So it should be 20 gram or 50,000 rupees of value, or whichever is less. So this is a little clause there. So men can carry 50,000 rupees and a female can carry 1 lakh rupees of the total value of gold when they are coming from a foreign trip. If you purchase something there, you can purchase as a jewelry, wear it and keep the receipt. That's what government says. But if you carry a bar from there or a coin from a foreign, like you go to Dubai or you go to UAE for your trip, or some of the other Western countries, and if you get some of the other gold there, you are supposed to carry its receipt, declare it before you in the plane. There are apps are there. There has to be then in that, if it is more than 50,000, you are supposed to go to the red channel, declare it to the custom, show it there. There is one app called as Atithi app from Indian Customs, where the pre-arrival declaration should be there. If you are not declared, they will say that it is failure to declare, and then they will attract more charges, and then finding fines also. If you're going from green channel, then it should be more less than 50,000 rupees for the males. And it should be in the form of jewelry, not in the form of coin. If it is a bar or coin, generally it is treated as an investment grade asset and it will cause a regular custom duties. So now what are why the recently global factors which are influencing rising of the metal prices, especially gold and silver? As we know, US dollar is a lot of things are happening in market. There are so many geopolitical events happening in entire world. The crude is there, then Ukraine war is there. China is making a lot of news in entire these things. Entire global inflations and entire world currencies and then entire world markets are going up and down. So the gold is drastically getting up in last 2 to 3 years, especially in last 1 year. It is one of the best appreciated asset in the entire world as compared to any other things, as compared to land, mutual funds, FDs, and everywhere. So in which form we can keep a gold? You can keep a physical gold, you can have got ETFs, you can have got other digital gold. So what are the pros and cons and what are liquidity factors? One of the best thing is sovereign gold bond. Yeah, this is the Indian government has brought around 8, 9 years back. The best part of this is that the sovereign gold bond doesn't carry the 3% GST. So where you directly save 3% GST because it is government bond, you are not getting it purchased from the jeweler. So first, the 3% GST will be saved there. There are no making charges and all. So outrightly, you will at least save few thousands when you purchase the first bond. It has got locking period of 8 years, and at the time of redemption, 2.5% of the interest government will add. Previously, they said it won't carry no capital gains tax, and so it is tax free at the end. Possibly, government might change this law. While at the time of after 8 years, it will be redemption, and if you want to sell in between it, you can. Most of the like ICICI Direct and all these whether demat shares, you can still purchase before your 8 years maturity date also. So they are tradable on all the exchanges. So you can purchase in between even if government is not making. And last 1 or 2 or 3 years, government has not opened a single tranche. So what the government does here? It will purchase gold. It will get money from you. At the end of 8 years, the gold remains with the government, and the government has to pay to you on 2.5% interest. And now government is not finding it very the government is not happy to pay you that much. So now last 3 years they have not opened any new recent tranche. If you want to open, the somebody has to sell it on the bond market, and then you can buy this bond. But they are freely available on most of the websites. So on an average, though they are saying 2.5%, effectively you might get more than 5% because you have saved initial GST at the very first time. And at sale, it is a tax-free bond. So while making of the silver, like why silver is getting so much high, people are saying apart from gold, there is a lot of industrial demand, solar, EV, and all other. So many industries are now demanding silver. So now today the silver it's one of the lifetime high, 1,93,000 rupees per 1 gram as a trader. And generally, when you want to purchase, you have to add 2 to 3% more. So practically, it's somewhere 1,97,000 when you want to purchase 1 gram bar of silver as of today, and gold is 132 today. So it's a huge. What are the strengths? Because still it is world market. Everybody wants to buy everywhere world it is allowed. The problem is that when you purchase gold, you are not sure about the purity. Sometimes there will be impurity will be there. So you can insist on hallmarks. If you are purchasing from local gold person, generally you may not get a hallmarks, but hallmarks you can check everywhere. Generally, if you want to purchase for purity, you can go for hallmarking. You can purchase for 22 carats also, and then you can trade with 22 carats, which is a little bit less cost as compared to 24 carats. It is a highly liquid assets. It is just as good as the currency if you have got receipt with it. And government doesn't encourage purchasing of the gold without receipt, and government doesn't want you to make purchase of the gold on direct cash of more than 20,000, and in 20,000 hardly any amount of gold comes. So the weaknesses are not sure about the purity, and lot of things happen about the purity. So it's very liquid asset. Sometimes it doesn't appreciate. In between 10 years back, it has not much appreciation. But on an average, for last 8-10 years, it has given 12 to 15% of appreciation over the last 15, 20, or 30 years. So it always keeps on appreciating. The people always say you have to think when at the time of your marriage or when your daughter was born or son was born, what was the cost of gold and what is today's. So these things, opportunities, government policies suddenly can change. They are not in your hand, and taxations can change, and the selling might be a little different. And the threats sometimes about the sometimes rates about might get stolen, and these are all the things. So this is the same thing applied for the silver, and there are some. These are one of the most volatile thing as compared to the your standard other bonds like other bond or other FDs, mutual funds or shares. It is generally it has got more volatile nowadays. The returns nowadays are much better. Sometimes there might be a chance of it might go for dips, say 20 to 30% also. On an average, if the horizon is more than 7 to 8 years, it will always grow. That's what the people say. For next 2 to 3 years horizons, gold might supposed to touch 1.75 at least, or even 2 lakhs. That's what, and silver might touch in 2016 at 2.5 lakh rupees per bar, 1 kg bar. That's what the at present predictions, common predictions are there. Safety, if you're keeping in a physical form, safety is the issue. If you are keeping in a paper form, in a demat form, the safety may not be the issue. As compared to the crypto, your current bank balances, FDs, they are liquid. They are quite risk free. They might have got different taxation as compared to your other things, and how much it fits in your portfolios, that we will see. Generally, gold has got a lot of short and long term triggers, and silver has got much more volatility as compared to the gold. So ETFs and futures might be the one of the options. And how we should see them? We should see them not for a short term, but as a long term vehicle of the financial holdings. They can be used as the portfolio stabilizers, because suddenly like COVID came, or the crude prices goes up, there is some war erupts, though they will act as a portfolio stabilizers. They will always be long term wealth preserver for the family and the personal wealth preservation. One has to know about the Indian and regulations. SGP taxations are a little different than the physical purchase listings. There are regulatory requirements for the gold which are not applicable for your mutual funds and other investment instruments. So, as we have seen, the price volatility, import duty risks, so government suddenly can increase the import duty, and these are the common things. So, how much it should be there? The gold you can keep 8 to 12% of your total portfolio, and silver you're supposed to keep 2 to 5%. For some aggressive investor, gold, they say now you can go for 15 to 20%, and silver from 5 to 10%. But generally, you should not go more than these limits. So these are the, for average person, it should be 10% for gold and 5% for silver. And for aggressive, 15 to 20% of gold and 7.5 to 10% of silver. That's what the optimal portfolio allocation should be there. Depending on conservative, moderate, and aggressive investor, that can be less. So they can be 5 to 7.5% of the gold. But gold generally should not be in the form of jewelry. So jewelry is not a investment mode. It is one of the emotional mode of keeping the gold. If you want to keep, the best form will be sovereign gold bond or gold ETF or gold mutual fund. ETF is good enough. So final summary. So you have to keep metal in some or the other forms. You can keep mix of both, gold and silver both. Think about 10% gold and 5% silver. Nowadays, the paper form of gold, especially SGB or ETFs, are much better form. You have to keep the documentation of your purchases for the long. If you keep the physical form or in the jewelry, then you should balance your investment strategy as compared to your other portfolios.
देवाशिष, तुझ्याकडे जर का हे असेल तर तू बंद कर ना त्यांचा ऑडिओ. तुझ्याकडे राईट्स आहेत का? मॅडमचा ऑडिओ चालू आहे आणि खूप आवाज येतोय. चारुलता मॅडमचा ऑडिओ चालू आहे आणि खूप जास्त डिस्टर्बन्स येतोय बहुतेक. तुझ्याकडे राईट्स असेल तर बंद कर ना.
नाही येत.
यांच्याकडे आहेत का मग? कोठारी सरांच्याकडे आहेत का? मी बघतो फोन करून.
So that is the thing about gold and silver investments. Okay. So if there are any other questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, I will put the PPT in a group. Actually, I have rather put already.
देवाशिष, आता जेव्हा सिल्वरचं ऍप्रिसिएशन हॅलो हॅलो देवाशिष
Yes,
हॅलो
sir.
हा काही नाही आता सिल्वरचं जे व्हॅल्युएशन होत आहे
हो.
इट इज ऑलवेज टेकन विथ अलॉंग विथ द डॉलर एक्सयूडी
Yeah,
आणि सिल्वर हे
right.
हँड टू हँड जात आहे
Yes.
तो ते कसं झालं म्हणजे पहिले तसं नव्हतं ना तिथे
नाही नव्हतं.
हा.
आता करंटली जेव्हापासून सोलर आणि ईव्ही आल्यात तर सिल्वरची
हा.
इंडस्ट्रियल डिमांड एकदम वाढली आहे.
हो
आणि मग त्याच्यामुळे मग सिल्वरचं आता हे झालं आणि लोकांनी पण आता सिल्वर परचेस करायला सुरुवात केली ॲज अ इन्व्हेस्टमेंट.
हम्म.
देर आर नंबर ऑफ पीपल हु आर कीपिंग 1 ग्रॅम और 1 kg 5 kg और 30 kg बार ऑल्सो 30 kg त्याला पाटा म्हणतात. आणि सो दॅट प्रिव्हियसली पीपल वॉज म्हणजे लोक घरी सिल्वर ठेवत नव्हते फक्त दागिने ठेवायचे किंवा मग वस्तू ठेवायचे ताटं वाटी आणि मग देवाचे वगैरे. पण आता लोक बार पण ठेवायला लागलेत आणि तिथं बार ट्रेडेबल आहेत म्हणजे तुम्ही गेला तर तुम्हाला ते डायरेक्ट कॅश मिळतं त्या बारची.
ओके
सो
Right.
त्याच्यामुळे मग ऑल ओव्हर वर्ल्ड पर्सनल इन्व्हेस्टमेंट वाढली, इंडस्ट्रियल इन्व्हेस्टमेंट वाढली आणि हेजिंग पण वाढलं.
राईट
सो दॅट्स द थिंग. पण जनरली गोल्ड मॅक्झिमम बँका ठेवतात त्याला काही वापरत नाहीत.
हो
सिल्वर इंडस्ट्रीत वापरलं जातं. मग ते कन्झ्युम होतं आणि गोल्ड कन्झ्युम होत नाही गव्हर्नमेंटकडून.
राईट पण सिल्वरचं अप्रिसिएशन खूप झालंय मी तुला फक्त
खूप झालं.
सांगतो की 1 वर्षापूर्वी जेव्हा ती वेव आली होती ना 120 पासून वरती राईड करायची
राईट.
त्यावेळेस मी जवळजवळ पावणे दोन लाख रुपये दोन्हीकडे टाकले होते गोल्डचं अप्रिसिएशन फक्त 7.7% आहे
राईट.
सिल्वरचं अप्रिसिएशन 28% आहे
लास्ट 1 year सिल्वर इज द बेस्ट इन्व्हेस्टमेंट इन एनी ऑफ द वर्ल्ड मार्केट.
हा 28% झाले तिथून म्हणजे इथे 48,000 आणि
ज्या
इकडे
लोकांनी नाही,
7
काही लोकांना त्याच्यापेक्षा ज्यांनी 1-2 वर्षापूर्वी घेतलं किंवा
हम्म.
ETF घेतले त्यांची तर ती ह्यूज होती.
राईट ती
म्हणजे
वरती गेली
नो द प्रॉपर्टी सगळीकडे लेस दॅन 5% अप्रिशिएट होतीये.
बरोबर आहे
प्रॉपर्टी बरीच महाग पडते. दॅट इज नॉट अ लिक्विड. प्रॉपर्टी अप्रिशिएट बऱ्याचदा होत नाही. त्याला लॉस पण खूप असतात आणि त्याच्यामुळे मग देर आर वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स त्याला एक प्लॉट घ्यायचा होता. त्याच्याऐवजी त्यांनी तेवढंच सिल्वरमध्ये ठेवलं. जेव्हा प्लॉट घ्यायचं तेव्हा ते थोडंसं सिल्वरमधून घेऊ म्हणून. तर प्लॉटपेक्षा त्याला ते कितीतरी सिल्वरमध्ये ठेवलेली इन्व्हेस्टमेंट परवडली.
खूप जास्त टक्के घेतले लोकांनी
कारण की प्लॉट हार्डली 5 to 10% अप्रिशिएट झाला असता आणि इंटरेस्टिंगली तुम्ही जेव्हा प्लॉट घेता तेव्हा तुम्ही ऑलरेडी 7.5% ते 8% गव्हर्नमेंटला देता ॲज अ रजिस्ट्री चार्जेस. तिथेच तुमचे पैसे गेले.
राईट
तसं एक गोल्ड सिल्वरच्या बाबतीत होत नाही. सेलला तुम्हाला 0% GST आहे. वेल यू सेल प्रॉपर्टी आणि मग परत तुम्हाला ते परत दुसऱ्या प्रॉपर्टीत इन्व्हेस्ट करावं लागतं विदिन 1 year.
राईट
सो त्याच्यामुळे नाउ-डेज पीपल आर कीपिंग. सो वन ऑफ द सेफ फॉर्म विल बी ETF. आणि जर विथ रिसिट लोक आता बार पण ठेवायला लागलेत.
बरोबर राईट आता ऑल टाइम हाय चालू आहे पण आय थिंक इट विल प्रॉबब्ली लोकांचं प्रेडिक्शन आहे की इट विल ब्रेक दॅट 2 लाखचा हे
हो 2 लाखला टच करून मग ते खाली येईल असं म्हणतायत.
आले येईल असं म्हणतात
170 पण 26 मध्ये परत 2.5 जाईल असं म्हणतायत.
राईट
नेक्स्ट इयर बिफोर दिवाळी अगेन पीपल आर प्रिडिक्टिंग इट माइट टच 2.25 और इवन 2.5.
मी 120 पासून घेतलं होतं परत कॅश डाऊन केलं आणि आता परत 140 पासून बायबॅक करतोय आता बघू किती जात आहे ते 179 होता आजचा 171 होता बहुतेक ना 179
आज 193 पण गेलं होतं.
तो जाऊन वरती हा परत खाली आला
परत
क्लोजिंगला 170च्या खाली
193
आला
इज अ ह्यूज.
हम्म
आज म्हणजे
179
193 होतं.
राईट
तर बाकी पण काही लोक हे होतात आणि मग MCX आणि बाकी हे राहतात. पण सिल्वर सध्या गोल्डपेक्षा जास्त रिटर्न देत आहे.
राईट मी सांगितलं ना 7% गोल्डचा आहे साइड बाय साइड आणि 27% सिल्वरचा आहे सेम अमाऊंट ऑफ इन्व्हेस्टमेंट सेम ड्युरेशन ऑफ टाइम
इट्स ह्यूज वन.
सांगतो सर
आता जस्ट बघितलं टुडे डिसेंबर 11 प्राइस इन इंडिया आज संध्याकाळची 2,09,000 पर किलोग्राम ऑफ सिल्वर.
राईट
म्हणजे आज सकाळी बघितली तेव्हा 193 होती. आज संध्याकाळी 2,09 आहे आत्ता.
अच्छा तो हे चालू
जस्ट
असतं ना MCX चालू असतो
आज दिवसामध्ये 10,000 ने वाढलंय.
राईट
दिवसात 10,000 इज अ ह्यूज.
बरोबर
Great. Nice. तर I think then we will finish.
संत सरांकडून एक्सपर्ट कमेंट्स काय?
सरांना म्युच्युअल फंड्स आणि लाईन्स जास्त आवडतात.
नाही सर सगळीकडे असतात तिथून.
राईट.
चालेल, तू टाकलंच आहे. चालेल, ओके, चलो, नाईस टॉक.
Thank you, Devashish. Very nice talk. Thank you.
Thank